Hey, girl. How you doing, honey?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing good. I am doing really good. I'm excited about today's episode.
Yes, I am too. I'm a little worried about what you said, but I'm ready.
It'll be good. It'll be good. Welcome you guys to another episode of In the Diva's Den. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are so happy to have you this week. We have a very special episode in store. Of course, we're going to talk about a lot of the recent events that are happening, but we are also going to bring our siblings on to not only talk about some of these current events, but to do a little game, a little Q&A to see how well we really know each other. And just have some fun and just kind of break up a lot of the negativity and a lot of the, things that we are seeing on social media that's kind of like bringing people down. So it'll be a good switch up. But first and foremost, we have to do our check-in. So, Precious girl, how's everything?
I literally just found out right before the show started that former coworker of mine passed away. And it put things into perspective. He was lively. He was fun. He just was always ready, rocker type. And, just to hear this news kind of just puts things into perspective. I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for health. I'm grateful for my breath. So anything else that was a problem before, I'm not even thinking about it now. So, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes, girl. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing better. It just seems like there is always some sort of challenge or something around the corner. But much like you said, I cannot complain. My bills are paid. I have a roof over my head. I have my health. And I have no real complaints. And, as I see it, whatever comes my way, I'm going to get through it because we've survived 100% of our bad days, have we not?
That's right. You preaching today.
Girl.
Pass the plate, y'all. But yes, speaking of passing the plate and needing a word, the people in Colorado need a word because a peaceful protest that was happening for Elijah McClain, 23-year-old musician Elijah McClain, that passed away last year due to a chokehold from the police department. They were in the park. They were playing music for him, violin, all of that. And it was just stormed by the police. What would make them think?
Stop! Peace!
As we can see there, what is the point? You have the people yelling, saying that this is a peaceful protest. Why are you here? Why? It is your fault that we have to have this protest in the first place. Exactly. And let's add that the same police department in Aurora that killed Elijah McClain is the same police department that safely apprehended the shooter from the movie theater shooting that happened a couple years back.
Exactly. And it's so amazing to me that people still want to argue or people still want to say, oh, Blue Lives Matter. And, well, they shouldn't have been doing this or they shouldn't have been doing that. You were talking about a group of artists who are playing the violin. How much more peaceful can you be and how heartless can you be to literally go out there with intention to harm people? Because you can't say that you were just going just to kind of monitor things. Because first of all, what was there to monitor when people are playing the violin? And then secondly, why are you coming in full on, ready to battle garb with your shield and your so-called rubber bullets and pepper spray? Why?
Yeah. Have you seen the damage those rubber bullets? They're huge. They put people's eyes out. Like seriously, they can't see now because they've been shot with these bullets.
Exactly.
So there's no need to bring that much force. There was not that much force when people were protesting wearing masks. So I don't understand. And they had guns. They had assault rifles. So if you didn't bring all of that for that, I don't understand why you bring that for instruments.
Exactly. And it's so sad that when people decide to speak out or how they decide to speak out, immediately they're being silenced, and whether it be through force or, by authority, it's just like, what do you expect people to do? I mean, especially in an instance like this, like, okay, so we are standing here in a public park, we're playing our violins, in tribute of what you guys have done to this boy that was walking home, with a mask on his face because he was anemic and minding his own business, listening to music. And we are standing here doing this vigil for him and we're still being attacked. And it brings up so many points. I mean, even, your sister was referring to the fact that a lot of schools are starting to speak out about their administration, their teachers, their principals, their professors, where they've had these experiences where there's this microaggression or these racist comments or, even these like underlying racist comments. And when they decide to speak up, because now's the time, while everyone's under a microscope, now they're being silenced, and actually, I guess we can go ahead and bring them on so they can tell us what's going on, because she has an experience. My brother has talked about an experience that he has had. My school is having an experience. So let's go ahead and bring them on. So let's welcome to the show our siblings. We got Nicole
Hello.
and Coach Block. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey there.
Okay, Nicole.
Yes. Shout out to my other siblings as well. Hi, y'all.
Yay. I only have one.
And Nicole, tell us a little bit more about the schools and what's happening.
So this is something that I've noticed too while I was in school as well. But what's happening is Twitter has been kind of going on about like different people of color's experience being in art academia and being in like college and dealing with professors that don't have their best interests, or they've been very discriminatory because they've been Black or they're not a favorite. And people have been posting their stories, and it's been very interesting seeing so many people have stories that I've seen and I've also kind of experienced myself while I was in school, because I went to art school as well. And then also it was like very disheartening and very eye-opening to see how many people still would cape for these professors to be like, oh, that's not the professor I know, or I never experienced that, so this is like weird, or kind of like what's the word, being like, oh,
Nonchalant. Yeah.
So it was just like very interesting to see, especially now it's coming out. When back then it was just kind of like we just had to deal with it. So it's just been very interesting that now all this stuff is coming out at once.
And I feel bad because I'm only going to call you by your nickname, but Kenny, tell us about your experience that you've seen on social media thus far with people that are speaking out.
Well, I just see a lot of, one thing is I like to applaud the youth for kind of really leading the charge on this, man. They're not letting up. And I think the more that they continue to express, their experiences, the more, I guess, for lack of a better word, adults have to address this, and it shines a light that there is a serious problem, and it's actually systematic when we talk about, education and all that, because there's an Instagram page where you have just young people sounding off about their experiences at school. I don't want to drop the different schools' names because, I don't want to add more light to it and get myself in trouble. But there's just what their experiences are with teachers and other students and principals and all that. It's crazy. It's eye-opening because now it puts the onus on the school to be able to, you have to address this. We can't just completely ignore it. And if some of these allegations and things like this are true, there's a huge problem even in our, in our academic system. So, it's just shining a light that there's problems everywhere, from police to education to, you name it.
Exactly. And I definitely don't want this younger generation who is deciding to speak out to essentially, be what's the word I'm looking for? Discouraged, because people are paying attention. People are looking. Everything is under a microscope right now. Everyone wants to make sure that they're on the correct side. Some people, can't say the same thing for these MAGA supporters, but there are some people who are wanting to be on the correct side, who want to make it right. And there's some people who are just only doing it just to save face. But that's another conversation for another day. We'll possibly have to save that for next week. But one thing that I do want to talk about are people who are trying to play it safe or think that they're playing it safe and essentially being problematic in what it is that they say. And one of the people that we're going to talk about is Terry Crews. If you guys follow him, I have decided to unfollow him myself just based off of the things that he's been saying. But if you guys have been following him, he's just been saying a lot of idiotic things as a Black man in America. And you would think of anyone that he would understand what is happening, but he is trying to be so PC, because I'm guessing he doesn't want to lose that NBC check, that he is coming off offensive and extremely problematic. And his most recent tweet just has lit a fire under everyone's behind, because it's like, you have got to be kidding me. And he said, and I quote, "If you are a child of God, you are my brother and sister. I have a family of every race, creed, and ideology. We must ensure Black Lives Matter doesn't morph into Black Lives Better."
So, you know what? We're not saying that. There probably are some problematic people out there that may be saying that, but the majority of people behind this movement are not saying that. We're trying to get people to wake up and realize that we are people too.
Exactly.
So we should have the same rights as everyone else.
Exactly.
Maybe, just maybe.
Exactly.
That's the whole point of the movement. But I mean, Terry Crews, we stood behind him when he came out about his sexual assault, and everyone wanted to clown him. We stood behind him. But then he came out and disregarded Gabrielle Union's experience because he did not experience what she experienced, and he disregarded her publicly. And that's what started this downward spiral, amongst other things. But this right here, this is kind of like the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't understand. Well, I'm not going to say I don't understand where this is coming from, because there are people who are afraid to rock the boat because they don't want to lose their check. I was in an instance similar to this where I spoke out on something that was happening with a Black people. And one of the Black people in the group decided to tell me that he was disappointed in me for not only bringing up the issue, but how I decided to deliver it. So how do you, as a Black man in America with a target on your back, how do you think that it's okay to say something like that and essentially defend what you're saying? Like, he has no qualms what he's saying. He is not backing down. He 100% is standing by what he is saying and dares anybody to say anything differently. And it's just like, it is what it is. But I want to pose a question to my brother, who is up and he's gone. So never mind. We're not going to pose a question to him. I guess, Nicole, let's ask you, how do you feel, hearing something like that?
I'm definitely disheartened, especially since I've grown up watching like Terry Crews in various media. It's kind of unfortunate, and I'm also kind of not surprised because we've seen Black, especially when it came to like the Gabrielle Union situation, we've seen Black men do that with the experience of Black women, and it's just like, no, we should be helping each other. Like, we should all be on the same page, but it's like, we're not. And then like just hearing him say stuff about Black Lives Matter, I don't know if like he's trying to cater to a different audience, because Black Lives Matter is not about being like superior. It's just trying to get us at the same playing field as everybody else. So for him to say what he said is just so like tone deaf and so like off the mark and just not accurate. Like, I'm pretty sure there are some people who are within, like with any like movement for the betterment of people, there are people in there who do like cause discourse. So there might be people like that, but as a whole, that's not what the movement is for.
And Kenny, being a Black man, how do you feel about his comments?
Maybe the character he played in White Chicks is really who he is.
Ooh,
People said that.
Ooh. We needed sound effects.
Yep.
Oh man.
I mean, there's really nothing more. There's really nothing more to say to this. I mean, I'll put it to you like this: people aren't marching because somebody just decided that, this was a trendy thing to do. It's because there's injustices and inequalities that are happening, and people are fed up. So to immediately say better, I mean, we are a long way from getting things better. We're just trying to fight just to get even. So that's why I'm like, when I pulled it up while you guys were talking, just to see it for myself, and I get what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Because Terry Crews is like overall, like, he's a real decent, like, kind of guy from what you see on TV. Like, he don't ruffle no feathers. But this one right here is like, I don't know, bro. You kind of got to leave certain things alone. And I think we can't predict what anything is going to morph into. And guess what? If it does morph into Black Lives Are Better, so what? Like, I mean, at this point in time, I mean, we are playing from behind the field. I mean, maybe if we catch up a little bit, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I just think he needs to chill on stuff like that. Like I said, it makes it look like his character in White Chicks is actually like a true piece of him. Because that, I don't know, and that everybody is my brother and everything like that. That's all well and cool, but are we saying that about the guys that killed Floyd or the cops that killed Breonna? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand there's a whole spiritual aspect to this, but sometimes we can't dismiss what's exactly happening in our face. And what's happening in our face is Black men and Black women are dying at the hands of law enforcement with no punishment. Like, the biggest thing that I think people get mixed up on is we're not asking for anything except justice.
Right.
Like, I could see if it was something different that African American people were asking for. We are just simply asking for the bare minimum, meaning if you do wrong, you get punished.
Right.
That's it. Nobody's saying anything more than that. So, if we can't recognize the purpose of the movement and we try to change it into something more and talk about let's not morph, man, we're not morphing. We're just trying to get still the same civil liberties as if, we were white. Because if a white kid gets gunned down, somebody's going to have to pay for that. If a Black kid gets gunned down, you get administrative leave and you get paid while they try to decide if they're going to arrest you or not.
Exactly.
So Cruz got to chill.
Pretty much. And that pretty much sums it up. Can't really add anything more to that. But in regards to taking a stance, one thing I do want to mention before we jump into, our fun and games for the evening, because we're going to lighten it up. But the BET Awards, I know that a couple of people did not watch it. And there's a good reason why some people did not watch it, given the track record of the BET Awards and how it's just continuously been going downhill. But I will say this year, they took their time and they absolutely got it right. It was entertaining. It was powerful, but it wasn't. Huh?
Was that Wayne Brady with a wig on?
So we'll get to that.
Okay.
It was entertaining. It was powerful. They showed exactly what needed to be showed, and I was proud of the artists for kind of essentially taking their music and showing how they were taking a stance with the Black Lives Matter movement. The visuals were there, the sound quality was there. It was a really good show, and production very, very good. Give it up to them. Jesse Collins Entertainment did a really, really good job with this show. And they even started it off with Fight the Power. I guess Flavor Flav and Chuck D must have made up, because the last I heard, the two of them were, like this.
Yeah.
No,
I heard him
they didn't shoot it. They didn't shoot it together. They shot it separately.
Yeah,
okay.
They're still separate. He was actually on a Deal Hughley show talking about what happened. It was a fallout over the word political. So that's what that was. Yeah, it just.
It came together very nicely, and I like how they went ahead and the newer rappers. But it was a good show. If you guys have time, because BET will play it until they can't play it anymore, take the time and really sit and watch it, because it was a really good show. And yes, Precious, that was Wayne Brady with a wig on, because that was his Little Richard tribute. And that's probably one thing that I could have done without, but he did a decent job. He did a decent job.
Okay.
Yeah,
we had this pancake 35, because Little Richard say pancake 35. Okay.
Stop it.
But I did hear about the production value of it from a lot of filmmakers. Were commenting about the switching and how they handled everything, and they said it looked beautiful and it was flawless as far as the transitions. Now, I will say the last thing I watched on BET was the Andre Harrell tribute. Now, that was not good at all, and I feel like he deserved a lot better than that. So I'm glad they stepped up their game for this award show.
Yes. They definitely did. So like I said, if you guys get a chance, go ahead and watch it. There's nothing else on TV anyway. But shout out to them, and I hope that this essentially opens up the door for better and more quality programming, because BET has definitely dropped the ball when it comes to things like that. But kudos to them. So let's go ahead and switch gears. We're going to play a little game to see how well we actually know our siblings and how well they know us. So Kayla, if you would do us the honor, I guess she's going to be reading off the questions to us, and we are going to individually, I guess, give our answers and see how well we know each other. Yikes. Girl, come on.
Can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the first question: which one of your siblings is the toughest sibling?
I would say Nicole is tougher than I am. I'll say that. I think she's been through a lot of different experiences that I haven't, and I've had the privilege to watch her go through that. We're 8 years apart, so different lifespans, almost different generations, almost, not really, but kind of, yeah. But I've seen her grow through that, and I see her resilience and the fact that she's still her, smiley, kind, wonderful person. So yeah. Are you just gonna let me say that about you?
I am pretty tough, but I say my sister is pretty tough because she's also gone through so much that I can only imagine going through, like especially medical things. And I just love her and her cute, ugly, sensitive self. I always pinch her cheeks, but she's just gone through so much, and she's been following her dreams, and she inspires me, and I admire her so much because don't do it. Don't do it.
All right.
But yeah, she's tough too. We're both tough. We're equally tough in our own way.
Okay. How about you, Blocker siblings?
Are they crying over there? I thought this was a competition.
We are not crying. No.
Get together. That's how we roll. They're over there, they're all lovey-dovey, like, oh my God, what?
Oh my God, he sucks.
The competition. Let's go. We're in it to win it. Who's tougher? I don't know. I'll put it to you like, I think we both play off of each other pretty well. We turn our hurt into humor, and I think we do a great job at it. Because our mom doesn't. She was big on not dwelling because it didn't get you anywhere, and she would say, you got a night to cry about it, but you got a plan to move on. And so, actually, we incorporate Debbie's toughness. So I think we're tough because we got raised to be tough by a mom who had to do it with single parent raising 2 kids. So I would say that we are equally tough in certain departments. Like my sister's a lot more vocal and to the point than I am. She would probably think that I'm a little bit more of a teddy bear and passive, but that's only because I like to hear both sides before I snap on people. And at times, Pooh doesn't really care about people's sides. It is what it is. So I think we're equally as tough, but we complement each other well as far as when to snap and when not to snap.
I would wholeheartedly agree. I think you are a little slow to anger than I am, and when I do see you get angry, I know that you've completely somebody had to take you completely there, because I mean usually you do a good job of brushing stuff off, but I'd say that I guess depending on what we mean by tougher, but I mean, kind of like my brother said, I'm quick to snap on somebody, quick. And if somebody's messing with him or my mom, oh, all bets are off, you know, when it comes to things like that. So I am definitely more vocal. But he has taught me to not be so quick to anger.
Chill.
I'm trying. All right, KK, next question, girl.
All right. Name one thing you can do that your sibling can't.
Hmm. Precious is actually faster than me running.
That's true. A lot of people think
I can't bait.
Slow. I smoked a lot of people in my day when it come to running. I used to run track, and 100-meter was my thing. And people look at me like, "Oh, she can't do nothing." I said, "Okay, you bet. Okay, I got you."
I would probably say for me,
Nicole is an artist. I don't draw. I can't. I mean, I could try, but Nicole is natural born gifted artist.
And I play instruments.
Yeah, she plays instruments. She's like, yeah, she's that kid. Nicole is that kid.
Yeah, she's that kid. I'm gonna say my brother is better with strategy. When I see him break things down and essentially, like he said, look at things from both sides, or just really, he's really good with explaining things on layman's terms, especially for things like sports, because I don't get sports. I can't play sports. I'm horrible with anything related to sports. I barely made it through basketball, but he does a really good job of breaking it down to where I think anybody on the street who doesn't have any knowledge can understand it.
I can sing, but not as good as my sister. So she can sing, and she just doesn't. And also, I think I have more patience than she does.
Ooh.
Her patience sucks. Like, so I think I'm far more patient than she is. So I would say I can be more patient in an adverse situation. Like when she had her car got hit, and she called me, and she was upset, and she was ready to kill these people, and she was by herself. Meanwhile, there was like 2 other people there. I get on the scene. She just kept saying, "This bee hit my car. She hit my effing car." I'm like, calm down, relax. Listen. No, man, you don't understand. She hit my effing car. Like that conversation, like it lasted like probably about 10 to 15 minutes of me just having to hear her say she hit her car over and over and over. Like it was going to change something. Like her door was already hanging off the side. So at this point in time, you know, you got to be patient to figure it out. And she was like, "What's that bee say?" Meanwhile, we just trying to get some license and registration and insurance information. She hit my car. So I think I can be more patient than she can. She and she can sing better than me. So yeah.
You got a good voice though too, Mr. Luther, Mr. Van Zandt. Okay.
Nah.
How deep is your love? Next question, KK.
All right. Describe your sibling in 3 words or less.
Okay.
Fabulous. I'm done.
You see it.
Smart, funny, cute.
Oh, I say adorable, lovable, and fashionista.
We sound like Care Bears over here on this side.
I am a Care Bear. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Nicole, they're gonna think you 12.
Jesus, all this
Oh.
love.
You out
I
here pushing 26.
years
You
and then
think
some.
you 12.
I'm gonna say hilarious, intelligent, and now I can say humble.
Now,
I call
You,
that.
when you were at the height of your game, honey, on football teams and Mr. I Want to Be LL Cool J, you were the worst. Oh my God, you were just insufferable.
I don't remember any of what you're talking about.
Whatever. This Negro thought he was the worst thing ever. I'm like, boo.
Hey man, well, after 3 kids later, you humble yourself real quick. I'm out here like, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, yes, thank you, God bless, God bless.
Excuse me.
God bless.
Okay, next question.
If your sibling's life was a movie, which actor or actress will play their role?
I don't
Good
think
question.
it's like that.
That is a good question. I guess I could say somebody like
That's a good
Zendaya.
question.
I do love a good Zendaya.
Yeah, I think she has the range to play Nicole.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. See, if Raven Simone hadn't gone off the deep end, it would be
Come back.
I
Come
can
back.
see it.
she
Yeah,
can be redeemable, just not right now.
yeah. Her comments about the whole blackness thing was problematic.
Yeah, that messed it up a little bit, but she cool though.
I see it though. I see you.
Hey, nothing but the best.
I don't know, man. I don't know, like the character from Orange is the New Black. I can't think of her name. Her and her mom were in jail together. If y'all ever watched that
Dasha
show,
Blanco?
it was the
Dasha? Was that her name?
I don't know.
Spanish, right?
I don't know actors. I don't know actors and actresses
Okay.
like that. I'm basic. I think because she looks like, she kind of resembles you. But then I also, if I had to go with like an actor because like they're just light skinned and angry, it's the girl from Dear Black People on Netflix, because she's just the most angry light skinned person I've ever met, or not met, but ever watched on TV. Like, let's just call it what it is. I mean,
The disrespect. Sir, get off of my show. Disrespect.
I'm just saying.
For you, hairline wise,
or lack thereof. Hairline, I ain't seen one of them in years. Hairline, you see that thing? I don't see it.
If we made him a little chunky, I would say The Rock. Mm-hmm.
Boulder. I tell people all the time when they be like, "You look like The Rock." No, I look like the Boulder, but it's cool. I'm his brother, Boulder. But it's cool. I'll take it.
But like you said, character wise, I could see like one of the Wayans brothers playing you, like probably like Damon.
Damon? Yeah, I'm more of a Damon guy. Please don't say Sean. And I'm not stupid like Marlon. But yeah, Damon would be it.
Mm-hmm.
I can take that.
Okay. All right, KK. Question.
All right. Do you have nicknames for each other?
Oogie.
We gotta say them on the air.
Oogie.
Yes, girl.
Hey, Oogie.
Hi, Oogie.
Oh,
Oh.
that's cute. You said pumpkin poo?
I said sissy poo. That's what I call you,
You
sissy.
do call me Sissy Poo. I call you Precious.
Yeah.
Her sister. Oh no. So I called her.
Oh no.
When she called, she made it into a ringtone. I say Precious.
Every single time. Yes. No matter what time of day, that is what I hear. Yes.
What do you call her, Precious?
I call her Sissy.
Oh, okay. Oh, you do say Sissy.
Mm-hmm. My little Sissy boo.
Usually I just meow at her. So.
And she still wakes me up at like 4 or 5 in the morning on Christmas every year. I'm like, I'm grown, I'm married, I got my own family. Why are you calling me at 4 in the morning?
It's a tradition we have to keep.
That is so sweet. Oh, okay. No.
I'll be tired.
I was impossible.
Precious, don't let her fool you talking about that so sweet, because she don't. She never appreciated me getting her up on Christmas early or any of that. Matter of fact, if I called her early on Christmas, she ain't even answering the phone. Like,
Christmas any day, sir.
Exactly. I know that. I can't call her. I can't call her before 10. Any day.
I wake up at 7, but I need time to adjust.
I feel
And she'll look at the
older sibling. I understand.
And she'll look at the phone. Like, that's the part that pisses you off, because I know you see me calling you. Like, and then when I'm like, oh, what were you doing? Oh, nothing. I was in the bed. What? Oh, you know what? The disrespect. The disrespect.
Sir. Next question, Kayla. I think we got time for like 2 more questions.
All right.
Why am I sitting in the dark, though, and y'all just letting me?
I know it gradually got darker.
Right?
Y'all ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What is the biggest lie your sibling ever told your parents?
That he was going to stop having kids. Ah!
Ha ha! Boom! Man, yeah.
Well.
As I sit here with a sippy cup in my face.
Precious.
Crazy.
I don't know.
I don't think I had any like major lies that I ever said. I mean, I can't say I didn't lie. I ain't put myself out there like that. But I never had any. There was that one time I was caught forgery.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, she did forge my mother's signature on something.
It was so dumb because
Right.
it was a one of those like little like report things in school, being like, "This is your grade right now," and it's an F because I didn't hand in an assignment. But it was going to change, but it just said F right at that point. So I signed it, and I signed it in pencil first, and then
done that a couple times.
And they called my mom, so I can't know what she was like. Open your bag. You did what?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. But yes, that was her. I don't know. I guess you can implicate me if you want to, because I don't know.
I don't remember any of yours, to be honest, because we wasn't out here in these streets like
we
that.
told on ourselves. Me and Nicole, we would if we did, we would be the ones telling on ourselves. So yeah.
It usually got found out pretty quickly.
Yeah. You know how the single black mother, she gonna know immediately. There is no hiding. She gonna know.
A single black mother knows her kids inside and out, honey.
But I'm waiting to hear the one for you, Kim. What you do?
Man, she didn't, man. Like, so even if she did, like, nobody knew. Like, her lies, like, oh, I took a cookie. Like, she watched me do all the damage with that, and seeing I should just tell the truth, because clearly didn't work for him. Like, I don't recall her and my mom having that discussion about food lying. Like, I don't honestly remember. Like, most of the time she was just pretty forthcoming. Like my sister she was the one that's like telling the truth, and then she puts it on my mom's lap, like, so deal with it, and then just stare off, like. So like the very first time my sister ever got smacked, like for doing something wrong, she literally turned and looked at my mom with a straight face, like she didn't cry, nothing. My mom popped her on the butt. She turned around like, "Are you done?" So from that point, it's just been kind of different. So
I couldn't believe she hit me. How could you hit me? I am your puppet. How dare you, ma'am?
So I gotta be honest. I don't think I have one. Like I know there's probably an encyclopedia full for me, but I don't think I
have many.
There's not enough time on the show for your boy. Yeah, I took a lot of blows.
What'd you say, Precious?
I said that laugh was very telling. We heard all the secrets with that laugh.
All right, KK, what's our last question?
All right, the last question. If you got a call that your sibling was in jail, what would be the first crime that comes to mind?
I didn't hear the question. I'm sorry. What was the question?
Okay. If you got a call that your sibling was in jail, what would be the first crime that comes to mind?
She hit somebody with her car.
What? Ooh. I can drive. What?
Pooh, she done had an accident and hit somebody because she drives too fast.
I can drive, and I will let y'all know the accident that happened to me. Homeboy hit me. I was in his blind spot, and he legit hit me.
We're not talking about this. Then we went over that question 3.
I can testify. She does drive fast. That time you scared me in the U-Haul. Yes, in the U-Haul. You're supposed to drive slow in the U-Haul.
Right.
She was
right.
No.
Precious.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Girl.
Yeah. She's in an accident. That's mine. If she didn't hit somebody or hit something because she drives too fast.
I almost hit a little person.
We're not gonna tell.
You almost hit a little person?
Stop.
We're gonna save that for another day. Nicole, what's your answer, girl?
It was either she stole something or she had to pop somebody in the face.
Pop somebody in the face.
And what's funny is I was gonna say that about Nicole. Nicole all cute and fluffy, but she got a mouth. So she would pop off at the wrong person.
And the right person right there, because we're gonna be scrapping.
Yes. She rough and stuff with her Afro puffs. Rage. Rock
hey. I don't know. I feel like with you, it would be like if you just hemmed up a kid, and I don't mean like your kid. I mean like one of your players because they was getting smart with you. Because there's been many a times when I was like, no, don't do it, big man. Because they just don't push your buttons, and you can see it in your eyes that you just want to just like strangle them, but you're like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. But yeah. I feel like if somebody pushed you enough, that would be the call that we would get.
Lately, that's what it's been. Like if you get a phone call, I didn't put my hands on somebody because I'm telling you, I am like 2 comments away from just slapping somebody. Like everything I'm seeing has just got me in such an angry mode. And you hate to be the angry black guy, but I promise you, like if I get the wrong message on my timeline, somebody's getting slapped. I don't have it in me, man. Like my patience is just 0 right now for people. Like somebody might get hurt. Somebody might get hurt, man. Like I had a dude at my job, I'm supposed to, I take care of people, take care of vets that come back home with post-traumatic syndrome. And, it was the middle of the night and my man just needed his pill and he was like, Ken. And I turned around like, man, what? And then I had to think about it like, yo, you're at work, dude. Like, chill out, man. But, I guess I'm black and I'm allowed to be on edge for a little bit because that's just where I'm at with people. I'm on edge for real. Like, you go outside now, it's just, if it ain't somebody black, I don't have patience right now. Like, even with certain comments with the, I don't understand. Can you help me? No, read a book. Like, watch a movie. We've been talking about this for years. Like, I'm just in my bag. I'm so deep in my black bag that it's just disgusting. So, yeah, probably slapping somebody.
Well, we can understand that. Definitely. Just know,
yeah.
we have to get our coinage together for your bail, but don't slap nobody.
So that's what keeps me from slapping somebody is because we don't live in we ain't got a situation where I'm just gonna get out right away. I'm gonna have to be in there for a couple days. So then, no, I don't want to do that.
I'm like, I gotta use my savings to get you out, sir.
I'll be in there. I'll be in there.
I want to thank you guys for coming on to the show. You guys are awesome. This has been fun. It's definitely been a good, switch from just all the madness that's going on in the world. So I'm glad that you guys were able to come on, laugh with us. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit about us, a little bit about our siblings. And if you want to follow them, or their Instagram tags are right below. You can follow Nicole and Kenny. Yeah. So thank you guys.
Appreciate you having me.
All right, precious girl, how you feeling, honey?
That wasn't as bad as I thought it could be.
Right.
You're not sure what they're gonna say, what's gonna come out.
That part.
Good.
That part. That is. Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week. We can't thank you enough. Thank you for being avid fans of In the Divas Den. I do want to mention that if you guys host a watch party, we do not see those comments. You have to actually go on to our mainstream on our Facebook page or on our YouTube to comment. Because I will see afterwards that there will be people asking us questions, and I'm like, ooh, sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't see that. So appreciate the love for the watch parties. Keep that up. But if you guys want to comment, you have to follow us on our Facebook page or on our YouTube and comment that way. But we love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep your head up. Please practice self-care. Oh, and one quick thing that I did want to mention. This weekend, if you are in Raleigh, they're having a Black flea market. If you guys want that information, make sure you're following us at In the Divas Den TV. We're going to post that for you. But it's going to be nothing but Black vendors out there. Masks are required. Not sure about social distancing. I would hope that will be something. But make sure that you guys go out, support, buy Black, and support Black people. We need that. Hey now. All right, y'all.
We don't mean just support Black people. We mean support Black people too. But y'all, don't politicize what we're trying to say.
Hey, you know what the hell I mean.
Right.
And if you really want to support me, I'll tell you my Cash App. Hey now. Boop, 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 boop. Bye, y'all. Bye.